Welcome back, everyone. I've got Coach Marko Pintaric, the longtime SC Trojan coach. You know, I'm not sure how many years you've been a head coach, but I know you've been with the program for, 30 years?
I think it's close to 30.
Yeah. It's been a long time, but great to have you, man. Your first time on the show. Welcome to Water Polo Wednesday. We're thrilled to have you here.
Thank you, Wes. It's a great show.
We're going to walk through some of your recruits. You had an exciting season last season, obviously coming down to the wire. You had a rough game against Fordham in that semifinal, and then, of course, UCLA in the final. This season, obviously looking to do more of the same, if not better. We've got your recruits here, and I'll go full screen so we can see them. There we go. A lot of names on here, some big names. I want to start with Gavin Conant, if that's all right. A big staple for you guys in National League this last spring. He was able to play with the the club team that was kind of the USC team, but there was a club team. A lot of your guys played on, and so Gavin contributed pretty greatly for you. How did this come about?
Great. I mean, this is a player. Actually, Gavin just received the MVP award for the JOs, and congratulations to Gavin and his team on winning it. And look, the kid really had a great spring season with NL Trojan, pretty much leading our team in the stats and really playing like he's not a freshman.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very happy with his performance and the way he integrated.
Yeah, good recruit out of J. Sarah there. You got another one in Colt Bradley, I believe, out of J. Sarah. Talk to us about, you got teammates here. Obviously, they're individuals. They're not packaged, but, J. Sarah is a pretty hotbed of recruiting. So talk to us about Colt Bradley.
But Colt, same thing,
Yeah.
So this is, first of all, this recruiting class, it's a pleasure actually to work with these boys, recruiting them.
Yeah.
And of course, their character is what really classifies this class, and Colt is definitely one of these guys that we're super happy to have. Sees a utility, in high school he did play as center, but he guarded also. So we are trying to find him the best role on our team right now. But one thing that I can tell you about this player, this kid does not stop. He's workaholic and does everything for the team. So he's going to be a great asset to us.
That's awesome. And Luke Harris, another one out of San Juan. Did he go to J. Sarah as well, or is he where's he? Newport.
Okay.
Yep,
Newport Harbor. So another great kid. He played on that Beastie Boys team that just won, and he's the youngest goalie that we have out of 4 total. And same thing, great character, works super hard. Followed him, throughout the years because of his grandfather, great swim coach here, Mr. Schubert, and so he comes from the Trojan background, and it's a very happy to have Luke, and I really think highly of him, and he will develop into a good goalie, great goalie.
And you mentioned this, he's the 4th goalie on your roster. You're only able to have 24. Some schools are going with 2, some 3, you 4. What's the thought process there? I mean, is it 1 per class? Is it it's this new limit? It's changing the way that people are constructing rosters.
Yeah, I mean, now it is changing. Just with our team, especially me as a coach, I really think the goal is the most important part of the game. We put everything in defense. I was working with goalies all these years when I was at SC. I was very grateful that Coach Vukazic actually gave me that responsibility when I was working under him, and really understood that as a player. I understood the importance of the goalie, and everything's based around the goalie. So that competition brings the best out of them. That's why we do have, Bernardo.
Yeah,
and Charlie
obviously.
right now competing head to head, and both of them doing phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And of course Nemo, who is there now breathing right behind their neck. And so those 4 goalies are very, very key to our team culture, and to really stress importance of defense and have a quality practices.
Yeah, unique situation to have 2 different players, one on the U20 World Championship team and one on the senior world championship team, both goalies
Yep.
at the same school. Only one of them can play at a time. It's such a fickle position as you can't. I mean, it's not like centers. You can play two centers, you can play multiple defenders. You can't play multiple goalies unless somebody's playing in the field, which is a little out of position. Well, good luck to Luke. I know you got a stacked goalie lineup there. I'm going to jump now to Reed Hanna out of Tamalpais. Talk to us about how you found him. This is a long way from home for him, all things considered.
A long way from home, and then years of scouting. I mean, we are following Reed. He went through a camp. It's a actually most of these kids went through a camp, summer camp, which is a great opportunity. Was a great opportunity for them to see the campus, to be and experience that 1 week of training with us. So I know Reed for a longer time. He's playing for San Francisco club. Watching him, Steve Lacy, running the club, great job. And even this year, Coach Vukazic actually coaching that club. It was excellent, to bring him up. And we originally looked at him even through Olympic development, and we kind of like thinking of him as ultimate utility. But he really surprised this year playing that 1-2 side, being a prime shooter. And he kind of like stepping more into that role of being a driver. But with his size and our coaching defense first, I have a big expectations for this kid.
Well, he joins an incredible 1-2 side with Duarte, Gergevich, Nelson. I mean, you've got quite a few names on that side, so good for him. We'll go to Braden Congo. I had the pleasure of meeting Braden and his family at U20 Worlds. He played for Canada. I don't know if we consider him an international. He's from Concord. He played in Concord, but So talk to us about him and the role you kind of see him filling for you.
Same. He's a driver, so very similar role as Reed. Interesting with Congo, he usually plays 1-2 side, that left side, and but I can use definitely after a couple of practices here at USC, I can use him on both sides, both end of the pool. Very fast player. With a very good shot, very versatile. Good IQ, water polo IQ, and somebody again when he learns the system that we coach here, and he will develop tremendously. His defense will toughen up, and he'll be somebody to watch.
Yeah, for sure. It was good to see him play. Obviously, Canada was competitive at that U20 as a part of the kind of Division II. They won their group, and they had the opportunity to play into Division I. Weren't able to. Nobody was, frankly. But good to see Braden Congo. Great to meet his family. F.A. Naipo-Glue, we saw him at the U19 World Championships. European Championships in Burgos last summer. This is a big pickup for you. He's a leading scorer. He plays in the Turkish league. This is not he's fairly unknown because he's not from one of the bigger name countries in that sense. Doesn't mean any less talented. I've seen a lot of the film. You got to be excited about this guy.
Super excited. Look, Efe, first of all, again, very, very nice kid. Kid who played last 3 years, actually. This year he had to skip because of visa issues, unfortunately. But he did play for San Francisco 2 years in a row, and coaches saw him play, actually, in U.S. He's very, very fundamentally sound. He's pretty much late for water polo with his build, and he floats beautifully, swims very fast. He has very good shot. But most importantly, I was following Efe and following his Turkish team, which is very, very interesting, that generation, where they have actually 6 players. They're very, very good, working together. And these guys, if they were a little bit deeper, they would really go deep into that European Championship and even Worlds. And Efe plays a very important role on that team, playing both sides of the pool, but mainly Efe right now in training for us. He's playing on the right side because of his vision, because of his speed, because of his ability to deliver the pass. And again, somebody who we are excited about.
I mean, and that's as we mentioned, having the left side being as strong as it is. That right side, you've got a couple of lefties. You've got Vort, Bettino, and you've got Brankovic over there. I know that Evan goes kind of back and forth for you, but this is somebody who, as you mentioned, great vision. Let me ask you, before we jump to the final recruit here, Bettino, he sat out of National League. Will he be available for you this year?
Yes, we're working on Bettino. He's one of my, again, I really love my players, and, he's one of that character, as you know.
Yeah.
You know, so when he told me about the surgery, I tried to provide maximum support for him. It was a little late, and I was a little questioning that decision. But now, seeing his progress, I'm fully confident that he will play, and that's a tribute to his really mental stamina and desire to play. He wants to play. The team wants it.
The kid obviously loves the game. It was sad to see that he wasn't able to play in National League Finals and had surgery, but great to hear he's on the mend and he's coming back. That adds something to that right side that is pretty unique. He's a great shooter, great vision, and so it sounds like no surprise here. USC going to be loaded on both sides of the pool. Now we're going to go to Strahinja Kerstitch. For those of you who don't know about Strahinja, MVP of U18 in Argentina in 2024. He was really the leader of the Serbian team at World Championships U20 this past summer. Got to meet him personally, chat with him for a while. Real calm, cool, and collected center. Not a guy you see that's a bruising over physical. He's super smooth, very clean in the water, not a lot of offensive fouls, which I think a lot of centers struggle with when they're bigger than everybody else. He's not one of those guys, and he can swim. He's not slow. And so this has to be, I'm taking a little of your thunder away because I'm excited about this guy. He's really, in my opinion, the jewel of this freshman class, not just at USC, but I think the entire country. Might be the best incoming player to the NC2A in the United States this year. Talk to us about Strahinja. This is a huge pickup for you.
Huge pickup, definitely. And again, another kid with a great character. And let's start with the character first. You know,
I love it.
Following him, really, that's how I actually know about the Turkish team and all these teams, because I really did follow that youth worlds and the world championships in general. I was there with you in Zagreb as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not watching just the tape. You know, I'm just watching the way these kids behave. And I'm telling you, this kid, you don't want to be around him, you know, if you're his enemy. You know, kid has this look on his face, hates losing. Losing is not an option. And that's actually the merit of being a Trojan. You know, you really, like, losing is not an option. That's the way we are brought up. And that's why I like coaching. That's the way I learned from past coaches, best coaches, pretty much. And, you know, and he's that guy, you know, and, you know, following him, as you mentioned, you know, his technical skills are phenomenal. Played for New Belgrade, had a great season with them, where New Belgrade actually used them in a capacity of a guard and a center as well, when he would play the guard and go post up, you know, at the same time. So his stamina is great, his speed is great, hands are phenomenal, and I'm really looking forward, you know, to his, you know, arrival here into this league, and to really see, you know, how he's going to affect the league.
Yeah. A lot of freshman centers, when they come in, tend to have a hard time with the refereeing and the fouls, whatever else. I don't see that being the case for him, at least from my perspective, because he plays so much lower in the water. He doesn't rise up a whole lot. He stays real low. He allows for the play to develop. He's very patient, very mature beyond his years for somebody. But that's a byproduct of playing, you know, growing up. He was at Rednički, I think, before Novi Beograd.
He's a Partizan baby.
Partizan, that's right, with Filipovic.
Exactly. So he's well known for, in Serbia, one of the best schools of water polo, bringing younger players with a strong discipline. And he's a really product of that school, and now playing for New Belgrade, and really gained that 1 year of experience before, you know, arriving to United States. So,
that was big. So you've
got a great. I mean, you're right. You classify him as very clean center, and I'm very happy to see that. Especially emotionally, is very clean, and you know, we're gonna prepare them for provocations and all that stuff. And but he's the kid that you know, usually doesn't fall for that. So
no, look, from watching him firsthand in person, meeting him, talking to him around the pool, just observing. Again, I think the best player coming into the NC2A water polo this year. So exciting time to be a Trojan as you guys finished second this last year. Certainly title hopes. Every year's different. Every team is different. You added, we'll talk about somebody who's not on this list. We talked about in a previous episode. You added a Catino Award finalist, the WCC Player of the Year. The guy I think throws the ball harder than anybody else in Mihilo Vukazic. I mean, Luka Brničić was a great center defender. Mihilo Vukazic is otherworldly. He gives you so many options with his height, his speed, his shooting, his defense. Marko, where do you put this guy? What an unbelievable get in his final year. I think it's the first time ever a Catino Award finalist has transferred because it just wasn't available before. Now it is. Unbelievable pickup. Talk to us about Mihilo Vukazic.
I mean, you said it all. I mean, I don't have to look, you just hyped Mihilo, really,
Yeah.
and this is not a hype.
It's not. It's all true.
Right
it's
now.
all fact.
But the great thing when I talked to Coach James, by the way, Mihilo left, and he's a world class person and guy. That's why we really welcome him here in Trojan. Huge respect for UOP as a team. When I talked to him, he has huge respect for his coach, and that tells you about his personality, about who he is, and the way he's coached, by the way. So again, add that to his ability to play on both ends of the pool. He's going to be so exciting to watch with the team that he has around, and that's why I'm super excited to see him. I don't have to tell you. I mean, most probably I will play them as a guard, just to answer your question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a no-brainer, but the ability to use him throughout the season, the way season goes, is to be revealed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and he's versatile. It doesn't just because you put him in as a guard, you don't. Somebody else may post up. He may end up on the 1, 2, 4, 5. There's a lot, and that's scary for anybody. It's scary for frankly any goalie in there, just because how hard he throws. And you've also got Connor Cohen, who can defend, who's come back for a final year, which is exciting. So, be an interesting season for USC. I think you guys are right there, and a lot of great pieces that you're adding. I'm going to move now to kind of the key matchups for you that we see. There's one that's not on here, but we'll talk about that in a second. We'll start with September 5th against Long Beach. It's a big matchup for you. Long Beach, a loaded class this year from transfers, incoming freshmen. Zalan Noj from Hungary, part of the U20 Hungarian team, is very sound. They picked up Toring Stanley. They're obviously returning Corbin Stanley, the younger brother of Toring, and Gabi Acosta, who's outstanding. This is a good matchup for you. What I see is kind of a top 5, both teams in the top 5, top 6 here. Talk to us about how you approach this so early in the year.
Well, you put it well. Like even last year, I mean, Long Beach is always known to have very, very good players, and that's why. Look, they played NCAA finals. You don't make NCAA finals just to make it. I mean, you really earn it.
So you have to, especially in that Big West conference. No at-large going to that Big West.
This is
tough.
Tribute to Gavin as a coach and what he's doing. And look, he really put up a team to be there and to really be competitive to win it. And we have a huge respect for each other. Usually we train over summer and every year. And look, we know each other, and I know his team. I know how good that team was last year as well. So you prepare for the matchups, and again, like we're gonna approach this game with a great caution, and we're gonna get the team ready based on what we have available, and we'll do our best.
Yeah, good early season matchup. Kind of pressure test where you're at, set a little bit of the tone. Obviously, you want to end the season better than when you start, but starting well doesn't necessarily hurt you either. Now, before we get to Cal, you have a game up at Pacific. It's a one-off for you, September 26th. Okay, so 2 weeks after this game against Long Beach here, roughly. September 26th, I believe, is... 3 weeks, after this Long Beach game, you're going to Pacific, and it's a homecoming for Mihilo. I know they're super excited to have him. Coach Graham has talked about this. It's a one-off type game against Pacific. Are you guys looking forward to that? Is that just another game for you? Talk to me about the mentality going into Stockton and playing there against the Tigers.
First of all, our mentality is always to get every single game like it's an NCAA final. This is just a frame of mind.
Yeah.
And this year, especially with the transfers, with the recruiting, with the players' availability, with the development in this country in general, there's no easy game. We can start talking game for game on my schedule, where if you relax, if you don't do your job,
Yeah.
you will pick up a loss.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the games where we are going going to UOP, Friday night game,
Yep.
Friday night lights. You know it's going to be crowded. Uh, Look, it's we are getting ready for a tough game.
Yeah.
So we are getting ready for that game like we are getting ready for any of the opponent, throughout the season.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I'll be on the call for that game, so I'm especially looking forward to it. And be good to see you there. Then you've got Cal a couple weeks after that. There's no relief in the schedule. Long Beach, Pacific, Cal. Obviously play Stanford and UCLA here. You've got Cal on October 5th. You'll be in Northern California for that one. And then UCLA, the final regular season game of the year against UCLA. That'll be at USC. Talk to us about those two games, starting with Cal at Cal on October 5th.
Well, Cal reloaded as well, as
Yes.
you know, in terms of recruiting. And Cal was strong last year as well. So pretty much adding these new recruits to a base that I had, they're a very, very serious opponent. And as always, as any, MPSF top 4 schools. So season at that point, it's already going to be after that MPSF invite. People will know, teams will know, the matchups will know the strengths and weaknesses. So it's going to be a little bit easier to talk about that game right after first month of a season. But as of right now, I mean, we are getting ready for very tough opponent. They picked up a goalie.
Yeah.
The Spaniard that is actually very, very good.
Yeah.
They pick up another Spaniard who is I watched him actually, Perone, who really played a significant role on that Spanish team that won it all. And with those two, that team, it's pretty much changed. They picked up a couple of the lefties, and Cal is always dangerous as every year.
They are. Well, yeah, they had a little bit of a down year last year, looking to reload this year. It'd be interesting. This MPSF conference is going to be interesting to see who gets left out of the NC2As. Will it be one team? Will it be two teams? We don't know. This may be a weird year with all the parity that is occurring. And then, of course, you've got UCLA, a rematch of the NC2A finals. I'll preface this. You played UCLA in the MPSF overnight invite in finals there. You played and you lost. You played UCLA in the MPSF conference championship and won. And you played them again in the NC2A finals. So you guys were the top two teams all year, right? Just based on those results, big tournaments coming out ahead, right? You were the top teams all year. You were 1-1 going into the final. You now got to play them again as your final game in the regular season. Does this game mean more than others, or is this like, hey, it's another conference matchup. Nothing changes. We're going into conference play a week later.
Look, this is a great rivalry.
It is.
It's USC, UCLA. So it's a great rivalry. So you approach that type of a rivalry always all out. So now I just want to make it really, really a note that we were same as other teams. UCLA was the only team last season who was kind of guaranteed NCAAs. We fought until the last second, the last actually final for us to make it, So we were clearly, in the team that was developing from the first game of the season until the last. This is why I'm so happy and proud of my team in previous years. Their chemistry, their willingness to adjust, to really to learn the opponent to really perform the best at the end, emotionally, tactically, technically. And this is really a tribute to the program. Not only me as a head coach, to my coaches, to players, because my coaches actually won the final. Not me.
You weren't there. You weren't there.
I was in the parking lot, buddy.
You were sitting in the park. Well, you might not have been sitting in the parking lot. I'm not going to say where you were, but you weren't coaching that game.
Proud of them.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's it. So same as this season. Every season is a new season. We are approaching this as like almost an outsider. I know we're sitting on a great recruiting class, great players, but training, working hard, preparing is what will get us there. So one game at a time. That game, 15th, it's probably one of the last games.
It is your last game before MPSF conference. Yeah.
So at that time, we will already know the status, what are the needs, who do we need to beat, how do we need to play, how do we need to condition, and so it's hard to tell right now. But we will prepare to win. Let me
Yeah,
tell you
let
that.
me let me ask you something. I went back and I did some research. It's been a long time, like over 20 years, since USC was not in the NC2A tournament. Okay, UCLA I think is close to that, but I think yours is the longest. I don't quote me on that. This is just from memory about 8 months ago. Stanford and Cal seem to alternate. It's like one or the other, typically. You had Cal for a number of years because, they won 3 championships in a row and whatever else. USC seems to just have a way of performing their best when it matters most at the MPSF conference championships. You didn't have a season last year that was what I grew up watching and competing against in USC, where you maybe lost 1 or 2 games. You had a season where you lost to Stanford. You lost to UCLA a couple of times, right? But when it mattered most at the MPSF conference championships, and I was there on deck making that call, and I was so inspired by their emotion and their enthusiasm, unknown to mankind. It looked like a different team to me than what we saw in like the earlier part of the year. Is that part of the philosophy? Should we just kind of like come to expect like early on in the year, USC is building and they're going to be great at the end? Or is that just a nature of this team in particular? Because for whatever reason, you guys are just always great and find a way in at the end of the year.
Look, I think that's a make of a team. But when I was a player in 90s, we did play back and away. And schedule, if you compare the schedule back then, when everybody was in one big conference, you had one East Coast conference, that schedule was super, super, super hard. And then we are back to that right now. If you compare our schedule right now to other conferences and other schedules, it's just loaded. It's just pretty much borderline. You don't have easy games. So it's you're talking about a college student athletes. We emphasize being a student and athlete here as well. USC is one of demanding academic institutions where these kids manage school and sports at the same time, and it's very, very hard. So some schools, they're in the quarter systems. They start later. Their midterms are different seasons, so it's very, very hard to hit that equilibrium and then go really consistent throughout the season and cruise. So this is why it's very, very hard to see this type of a trend repeating again. Me as a coach, like I told you, me, like we always try to go and win it, but you do taper, you do prepare for opponent the same way. But then again, these upside downs are natural. And again, if, stars align, you might go undefeated, and earn that spot immediately. But in recent years, we didn't have that luck.
Yeah, I mean, look, you've been in the NC2A tournament, which is really what you can ask for, right? You can't win it unless you're there, and so you got to give yourself an opportunity. You've done that regularly for years. I think it's 22 years. As I start to think about this more and go deeper into the recess of my brain, Marko, it's been great having you on here. Last question for you: the House versus NC2A settlement has passed. Obviously, USC is a big football school. No, my mom went to USC. My grandpa went to USC. All I watched growing up was USC football, and it's a big deal. Has that impacted with NIL and these collectives, and now the school being able to pay players directly? Has that impacted the way recruits are talking to you? I mean, obviously your pitch might change, but are recruits expecting things differently now?
Well, look, you have to address it, definitely. I mean, we are definitely a much smaller market, than. And as a matter of fact, every sport, every school is kind of like left for itself. So I love to hear like stories, on the side from when you coach or you do recruiting, how rich USC is and how everything. But it doesn't come. Just people don't throw money at us. We still fundraise for a budget. We still fundraise for every single thing that we do, and it's not on a scale as everybody thinks the football is. And this is why I'm very grateful for our alumni community, alumni love for our program, because it's there They do help a lot, and I hope we are making them proud.
Yeah. Well, the national championships behind you is quite the flex. That's a big part of why your alumni are as successful or as in contributing as they are. Do recruits ask for money? Like are recruits, like I know in football, I hear about this in football, that recruits are like, well, how much am I going to get paid? Has that started?
Some do.
Yeah.
Some do, some don't, and
sure. I'm just wondering about the
recruiting.
Part of the part of the nature of it now.
But then you just really explain, the real situation. And again, I'm one of the coach that, will tell you straight on, like,
well, I don't doubt
me
that.
And, so what's happening and what can be done, and pretty much that's it.
I mean, you have your limitations, and here's what we can do.
Yeah,
so
we do have limitations. Let's put it that way.
as everybody does, right, Marko? Look, thank you so much for being here. It's been a real pleasure for me to. Obviously, we spent a bit of time in Zagreb together, but great to have you on. We hope to have you on later on the season. Good luck this year. We'll be obviously watching. I'll be down at the MPSF invite, doing some of the broadcasting, but look forward to seeing you then, if not sooner. And thank you again, man. Just tons of gratitude to you. Good luck this year. You've got a great class. Can't wait to see what unfolds for you. And, you're welcome back anytime, Marko. This is your opportunity. Is there anything you'd like to share? Use this as a recruiting tool.
Man, I think actually, pretty much want to say hi to my team and actually wish them the best luck because they know how hard they work. And, so that's it.
Amazing.
Right on.
Well, thanks again. Welcome back from Puerto Rico, and have a great season. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.